tutorial on using iMovie for your iPad. First, obviously, you want to download the iMovie app, and you should have a license code from Mrs. Mcmanus. You're going to open up iMovie, and then you're going to tap the plus button to start a new movie, and the plus button is going to be up in the upper right corner. And you're going to create a movie. If you're doing a trailer, you could create a trailer, but it's kind of a preset template, so I wouldn't recommend going that route even if you are going to create a movie trailer as your project. I would suggest doing it as a movie because that gives you more flexibility. So I'm going to tap movie, and then I can choose from a number of different themes, and I can turn those themes on and off, but I'm going to go ahead and pick a travel one. You can preview that theme by hitting the play button. And then in the upper right corner, I'm going to hit Create Movie. So right now, it's going to access my video clips that I have saved. So anything that you shot with your iPad will appear in video in the upper right corner. So you can see video, photos, and audio. So I'm going to tap Video, and then my camera roll, and that should display any video clips that I have on my iPad. To select a video clip to use, you're tapping on it, and then notice you have some options. You can play it to preview it. The little arrow facing downward will add it to your project. The three little dots will give you more options. So say you only wanted to add the audio, you can see that little waveform with the plus, that would add only the audio. And then those three next icons are replacing a clip, doing picture-in-picture, and side-by-side. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that to my video. And then I'm using my finger to scrub through so I can scroll through my video. And then the play button will obviously play that video. The little button to the left will go back to the beginning of the video. Here are some really basic editing tips you can use. So I have my video clip down at the bottom. Notice it's about 35 seconds right now. Tapping it activates that particular clip and then allows me to edit it. If I need to shorten the clip, I can just tap on that yellow bar at the very end of the clip and notice I'm shortening the clip. I can also do the same thing from the beginning of the clip, but you might not notice that you're shortening it. So notice I'm dragging that bar, but I don't necessarily know that it's getting shorter until I check the end, and now I can see, oh, it's only 25 seconds now. So note that you can shorten a clip by either dragging from the yellow bar at the beginning of the clip or at the end of the clip. I can see which pieces of video I'm actually using in my project because they will have an orange bar underneath them in the camera roll area. So say I used this video and dropped it in, notice that it has an orange bar running underneath it. If I shorten that, notice the orange bar is shortened as well. So it shows me which piece of that video clip I'm actually using. If you need to edit your movie from within the middle of a clip, it's really easy to do. Tap your clip so that it's highlighted in yellow, and notice you have some options at the bottom. If you want to split a clip, you can either tap the word split or swipe your finger down on the clip to create a cut. iMovie will automatically create a cut with a straight line pointing down. If you tap on that, you can change that straight cut into a transition. Notice I have transition options open at the bottom. The star transition will actually apply the transition from the theme. Cross dissolve, wipe, another kind of wipe, and then fading to black are all options for transitions. The time of the transition can be adjusted by tapping on the number of seconds. Each transition has a built-in sound effect that can be muted or included. And you can even do precision adjustments. So you can very precisely decide how your transition is going to appear. Most of the time, just the default and changing the timing will be fine. But you probably want to change that transition sound effect, or take that sound effect out, I should say, by tapping on that to mute it, because some of them are kind of cheesy. When you're finished editing the transition, just hit done. And now, what used to be a straight cut will be a fade. It's really easy to insert a photo into your iMovie project. You would want to take the photo with your iPad or save the photo from Safari or Google Image Search onto your iPad. Go into Photos, choose the photo you wish to use, and then by tapping on the photo, you can change the Ken Burns effect if you would like to. If you do not want the Ken Burns effect to be applied, just set the zoom levels to the same thing. So you pinch to position the start, tap on the end, pinch to position the end, And just pinching in will fix that so that they're both the same. And then the photo has been adjusted. By default, it's 5 seconds long. If you want to adjust the length of the photo, simply tap on it in your timeline and then adjust the length by dragging either yellow bar at the beginning or end. Notice that my time of my picture has gone down to 3 seconds as I'm dragging. And I can either adjust from the beginning or the end of the photo. So it's back to 5 seconds. Another piece you might want to add to your project would be titles. Tapping on any video clip will give you the option to add a title at the bottom. Tap the word title and you'll see options come up. None should be the default setting. An opening title will give you certain options. Middle and closing are other options. Tapping the T button on the right-hand side will give you the options for that particular type of title. The first one is always going to be whatever theme you've chosen. Then you have some other options for titles. Tap on the title text here words to bring up the keyboard and edit that title. Don't forget you have your language keyboard option to change to Spanish language. The title will be applied to the entire clip, so if you need the title to appear on only part of the clip, make sure you split the clip so that the title only appears on that piece that you want it to. The last piece of your project that you'll add will be audio. So up in the upper right corner, you have an audio option. You have some theme music, and the theme music can be from any of the themes. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the theme you've chosen. You've got sound effects, and then you have whatever you have in any playlists or voice recordings that you might have saved on your iPad. So, to add audio, you would tap on what you want, and notice you have a little option to play, so you can preview what it sounds like. And then to drop it into your project, you just hit the down arrow. And it's going to drop it wherever your playhead is at the time. If you want to move it, you want to tap on the audio, and then tap and hold on it. And you'll see it'll pop out of the timeline, and then you can just click and drag it to where you want it to start. Tapping on it will also give you some options to adjust it. So I have selected my audio. I can tap my waveform button so I can see the relative volume, and then I can adjust the volume of that audio down at the bottom using that slider. So if I need that sound to be louder or quieter, I can just drag that little button to make it louder or quieter. I can also fade that audio. So if I want to create a fade in, I would drag that arrow over, and notice the shaded portion indicates where my fade is. And then tapping back to trim will allow me to shorten. So say I didn't want that sound to last quite as long. Just like with video, you tap and hold on that yellow bar and you can shorten that up. And again, I could make it fade out if I wanted to, just by dragging that little slider. So you can see my sound effect has a fade in and a fade out. I can also add a voiceover to my iMovie. So down at the bottom, you'll notice you have a little microphone option. I tap on my microphone, and it's going to use my iPad's microphone. When I'm ready to record, I just tap the red record. I will count down, and now it says I'm recording. You can see that it's turning red as I record, so kind of like the desktop version of iMovie. When I hit stop, I can choose to retake the recording, which will delete what I have and start over, review, which will let me listen to it, or accept, which will go ahead and place it into the project. So there's my recording, and just like with any other audio, I can tap on it to adjust it. So I can adjust the volume level, I can fade it, I can trash it if I don't want it using the buttons down at the bottom. Now that you've finished editing your movie, it's time to save it. So first you'll want to name it. And I would say that you should probably name it whatever in Spanish would be the appropriate title for Mrs. McManus's class. So give it the same title that you would actually title your movie. Then you'll probably want to play it back all the way through one last time to make sure it's perfect using the play button that is in the center row there. After you play your movie to make sure that it's perfect, then it's time to save it. So you're going to tap the share button in the center, and you're going to choose Save Video. In quality export size, at least choose large. You can choose HD if you want to. Remember that the longer and larger the movie, the more space it takes up on your iPad and the longer it will take to export, so just keep that in mind. When the video is finished exporting, it will be saved to your camera roll. You can tap OK, and then you can find the movie in your camera roll. Your last step is going to be to submit your video to Schoology. Go into your Schoology account, go to the proper course, and under Materials, tap the plus button in the upper right corner. It's a blue plus button. Choose Add Discussion, and you'll want to title it with the name of your project. Enter a short description if you'd like, and then tap the Attach button. Choose from Library, and go to your camera roll and choose your video. Tap the green check mark and the green check mark again. Notice that a number 1 will appear next to Attach, indicating that you have one attachment. Tap the green check mark one last time, and your media will be uploaded. Uploading your video this way means people can watch it in Schoology, so they don't have to go to an outside app to view your video. When the upload is complete, your discussion will be created. Drag down to refresh the page and notice that a new number of discussions should appear. Tap on your discussion to make sure it's there. Notice that the video is now included, and I can tap on it and it will load. Once the video loads, in the upper right corner, I can also save that video. So if you don't have Wi-Fi access at home, it's a good idea to save a few of the videos here at school to your camera roll so that you can watch them at home and complete the assignment. Notice now my video is appearing, and again in the upper right corner, there's my share button. I can save that video down to my camera roll so that I always have a copy that I can use offline. To comment on any discussion thread, go back to the discussion, tap the blue plus sign to attach a comment. You can just type your comment right in the white box. Tap the green check mark to post your comment. So these are the basics for using iMovie. We're also going to provide you with the full documentation on Apple's website so that there's a link for you to visit in case you have a more specific question that's not addressed in this video. It's pretty intuitive once you get the hang of it. It can be a little tricky just sort of figuring out how to navigate the touch version of editing if you're used to the computer. So be a little patient, make sure you read the instructions, don't be afraid to try things, and happy editing.